Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. I gotta sit there and say that I enjoyed this episode. It's been a rough couple of weeks with this show. Okay, it's been a rough couple of weeks with this show. So, episodes like this, I, I, it surprised me. It surprised me, but I definitely enjoyed this episode. I don't know. GH is going through a rocky streak right now. I mean, I know that we had the whole picnic, which was supposed to be in the nurses' ball, and then, a couple of the episodes before was kind of up and down, but it seems like it's starting to try to find its groove, and I can appreciate that. So, Sasha. Sasha. Before I start on recapping and talking about her scene, because that was, went on Facebook. And sometimes that can be a good thing and a bad thing. Went on Facebook and I was watching some of the previews to today's episode. Bunch of people that were upset that they were ruining Sasha's character. They were trashing her character. Now, of course, I say this in a very sarcastic tone, but the people that are saying that they're ruining Sasha's character, let's just kind of take a couple of steps back, like about a year or two or three or whatever. They're trashing Sasha's character. It's not like Sasha started off, being this amazing and really good and kind-hearted person. Okay? She pretended to be Nina's daughter for quite a while. Okay? On top of that, the sister or so-called sister at the time that she just met, she tried to make a play towards her boyfriend. And then when Kiki called her out, she was like, "Oh, I didn't really think y'all was serious or anything." Are you serious? I still remember that scene vividly. And then the surprised look on her face when Kiki was like, "Yeah, you know what, it's cool, but you have to find another place to live. You have to kick rocks." And she was shocked. I'm like, "Well, what did you think was going to wind up happening? You just tried to flirt with her boyfriend and then act like it just wasn't that big of a deal." I don't know where you come from, but in most places, that's a no-no, especially to somebody who you just met. So when I was sitting there reading the comments about, "Oh, they're trashing her character and this, that, and the third," I was like, nah, bro. They've been doing that from the start, okay? At least with this storyline, they were giving her depth, okay? They're giving her depth. That's what I think. They're giving her depth. What I said before, a couple of videos, that you're not going to accept help until you hit rock bottom. Guess what happened today? Lucy brought her to a public place. I can't remember that restaurant. And granted, let's be honest, this conversation isn't easy for anyone because she doesn't want to come across basically saying, "Well, you're fired," or we're going to vote you out, and you're just going to, you're going to be, well, fired. But she basically was like, "You need to sit there and take a step back." The problem with Lucy's approach is that it was so gentle that after a while, Sasha was like, "Can you just get to the point?" And honestly, tell you the truth, I was thinking the same thing. Just get to the point, Lucy. She's like, "You need to take a step back because what you're doing is not just affecting you, it's affecting the company." Sasha was not hearing that, okay? Sasha started to get loud and people started turning around and looking. And, after a while, Sasha was like, "Oh, okay, I see what you did. So you brought me in here because you think I was gonna sit there and freak out and start yelling, right?" That's exactly what she starts doing. She starts doing that. Dude takes out a cell phone, and Sasha approaches her. Approaches her. It's like, yeah. If you don't want to be filmed, you should be acting normal, whatever. I think that's still kind of scumbagish, but whatever. So she takes his phone, and that reminds me of the Dave Chappelle skit. If you know where I'm going with this, it's Dave Chappelle being Rick James, and it's not Eddie Murphy, it's Eddie Murphy's brother. Now I'm gonna have to sit there and take a second to look this up. Charlie Murphy. I swear, I didn't even get a chance to even look it up. You know what I'm talking about, right? With the couch. So imagine his cell phone being a couch. I laughed so hard when she did that. So the bouncer or the security is escorting her out, and she's pushing on security, and he grabs her. He's like, "Yo, you gotta go now." Now Brando comes in there, and he's like, "Yo, what's going on?" And then she finally loses it, and what I like to call, to be honest, I don't really like it, but it is what it is. Rock bottom, okay? Rock bottom, and she says that she needs help. So now, getting somewhere. Same thing with Liz. Rock bottom. Now, before then, Brando was sitting there talking to TJ, just about what's going on and how he's dealing with it and things of that nature. And I'm just like, I know what marriage is to death do us part and sickness and health and all that other stuff. I'm like, bro, you do realize that y'all didn't even really know each other that much, and I kind of just had a quickie and then had a baby, and then she decided to marry you. I'm just saying, bro. You know. Anyway, he's not there talking about that, and he's second guessing himself. He feels like he's doing the wrong things all the time. It got to a point even TJ's like, I mean, it's cool that you're telling me this stuff, but particular reason why you're not telling your wife? Now there could be. I'm not gonna be that person today. I'm just not because you did hit rock bottom, so I'm not gonna be that person. But I don't even really think that TJ really gave him any help or anything like that. But he just listened, so that's help enough. And decided to drop him off to the meeting place that she had with Lucy, and then saw that, and well, we know how that went. I'm gonna start calling Dex. It's a steal your girl. That's what I'm gonna start calling him. There you go, dumpster diving, right? Looking and all this other stuff like that, and Dex talks about his siblings not being close and stuff. Now it gets to the point where Josh is like, "My foot is stuck." Gee, Josh, I wonder what's gonna happen next. So she falls. I guess he tries to catch her. He falls with her. When that happened, I said to myself, everyone, we can start the countdown now. Okay? We can officially start. We can start it today. Start it today. Start the countdown. You all know what I'm talking about at this point. But for the new people, it's the countdown to when Josh leaves Dex. I mean, Josh leaves Cam for Dex. Because that's gonna happen. Okay? It may take a little bit. They're gonna probably tease the audience a little bit, but it's gonna happen. So we're just count down to it. And there's a point where he takes off his shirt, and Josh makes a comment like, she makes a comment like, "Oh, well, do you always find opportunities or something like that to take off your shirt?" Because it did really seem like it was kind of just like It wasn't necessary. I mean, it wasn't necessary. It was necessary for the soap, for whatever, but it wasn't really necessary. So I thought it was kind of funny. And she had to go get changed and, you know, look all glam. Now Brooklyn tries, gets Chase to, try to ask Sonny for a favor. Now Nina is trying to hide the conversation that she's having with, that she had with Ava. And Sonny's like, yo, listen, I want to know what's going on. So Nina lies or whatever, but then, she gets saved by the bell because Brooklyn comes over. Brooklyn comes over, tries to butter up Sonny. That doesn't work, so she just has to be honest. She's like, I need some help trying to get a couple of gigs with Chase. But at that point, I'm like, you already just messed up. Okay, this guy is trying to get his job back, and the minute that she asked Sonny for any pull, I already knew it was going to look bad on Chase. And Chase's like, listen, it's like I appreciate it, but coming from you, no offense, but it's not going to look good. So Nina's like, listen, I know the owner. I can sit there and put in a good word to kind of help you out. So he agrees. Then he gets mad at Brooklyn, and then he forgives Brooklyn. So whatever sort of argument, walk off that he had, it really didn't matter because it got softened in 5 minutes. Nina and Sonny want to go to the club, and they run into Curtis. At some point, they chop it off a little bit, and Nina leaves. And Curtis like, all right, well, I got something to do that doesn't involve being around you, pretty much. So he walks away from Sonny. Sonny's like, yo, what's going on? I thought we already been like kind of cool or whatever, like on a friendly term. So Curtis is still mad. No, I'm sorry. Curtis is still butthurt because Sonny didn't sit there and look into Marshall's past. And, Sonny said something along the lines of, I've been doing a lot to kind of protect your family. I don't know what that entails. I personally, it could be other people trying to move in on his club, trying to make sure Miss Wu don't get out of hand. I have no idea what that means. But he was like, listen, I've been looking out for your family, whatever. And this didn't seem like this was something that was a long time ago. This seems like it might have been something recently. But that's just a guess. Of course, Marshall's like, yo, is there a problem? And, you got Marshall, you got Taggart, and you got Portia looking like, yo, what's good? I mean, Curtis did sit there and say, oh, you're crashing my party. I'm like, you do know that. I was like, Curtis, you do realize that Nina is with Sonny, and most likely if Nina's going to go to your party, she's going to bring Sonny with her. So I don't really understand why you got all, well, you about it. Like, I don't get it. So a lot of the stuff is going on with the Savoy. You got Taggart, you got Portia, you got Jordan, you got Curtis, and of course you got, the young adults, well, not Josh, but Cam, Rory, and Trina. So eventually Spencer gets there. He's there with the letter, and you got Rory and Trina sitting there looking at him because he's just kind of like standing in the corner, just like, I don't want to sit there and say kind of creepy, but it's just kind of weird. It's not like you don't know them or whatever. Long story short, Trina comes over there, and Spencer's like, I didn't really know if I should sit there and comment stuff like that. And long story short, Trina was like, yo, we're not friends. Like, we used to be friends, but after everything that happened, I need to sit there and heal, and I can't do that with you being in my life. And I was like, oh, bro, that hurt me. Because I know that he wants to sit there and give the letter to try to make amends or whatever. But she was like, yo, listen, I wish the best for you in Pentville. Keep your head on a swivel. But we ain't good anymore. So whatever sort of plans that he had, whatever fantasy that he had in his head, he was going down there to give that letter, was a no-go. She walked away. Spencer sat there, just sitting, pouting, I guess. Ham comes over there. He's like, you gotta sit there and give her that letter. I was like, no, you don't. No, 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 you do not. You do not have to give her that letter. You need to just sit there and finish drinking that club soda and just walk on out of there. That's what you need to do. But at some point, with Rory, whatever, Rory goes to get her a water because for some odd reason they weren't serving soda. I get it. Water is a lot better and healthier than soda, but still. Now they have this little opposite thing that's going on, and I guess Trina kind of looks over to her right or her left and sees Spencer, and Spencer's like, all right, yeah, I gotta go. So now he just walks off. Trina's like, wait, where are you going? Most of like Trina, you told him that you didn't want to be friends, so like, well, what's the problem? So he goes, he drops a letter. He's already at some point in the stairs. They both look at each other, and then Trina runs towards the letter, and she picks it up. She's like, all right, what's this? And that's pretty much where it ends off. I'm just like, because I sat there. Cam was like, you gotta sit there and do it so this way she could be informed. I was like, informed of what? I mean, yeah, okay, so she knows that Spencer was on the side the whole time. What else does that really change? I mean, all the stuff that happened, I can't sit there and put it on Spencer, but it was because she was in Spencer's orbit. Okay, so all that damage, destruction, heartache, sleepless nights, all of that was because she was in his world. So what is that letter going to sit there and do? Oh, well, you know what? It's all forgive. It's not going to do anything. So I just don't feel like it's really going to help or plead his case or whatever fantasy that he thought it was going to do. Josh gets there. Josh tells him about, the bracelet and dumpster diving. But it seemed like she kind of left out a, detail. Dex, a.k.a. Mrs. Theory Girl. And then there's some scenes with Jordan, with Taggart and everything like that. She apologizes, but she doesn't need to apologize for. Portia's like, nah, it's cool. Portia leaves. Taggart and Jordan start talking. At some point, there was something that Taggart said that triggered her to remember a conversation with Portia, trying to find out some sort of diagnosis. Also, Portia was talking to Marshall about his bipolar and everything. No, I'm sorry, his schizophrenia. And, thinking back to Trina. So there's one point, again, where Jordan's not there talking to Taggart. And, Taggart's there talking about her daughter. And, of course, Jordan sits there and looks at Curtis. And I'm just like, so we've been doing this whole dance for about, 2-something years? Give or take? We're going to wrap this up sometime this week? This year? We're going to wait for sweep weeks? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? When are we going to get to that? Alright, so I think that's pretty much about everything. It might have been a little bit kind of stuff that I might have missed, but for the most part, I think I kind of covered, everything that's pertinent. So, with that being said, I'm going to go. This came out a little bit later than supposed to. Had some issue that I was not trying to figure out. And my good guy, my good buddy, DC Sanctuary was able to help me out with that, so definitely shout out to him. So yeah, it came out a little bit later than I wanted to, but I finally got what I was having trouble with fixed, so that's cool. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank everyone for coming on a live stream yesterday. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. It's definitely a different energy when I'm doing, live streams with everyone and stuff. So I really appreciate everyone that came out during the live stream. It's a lot of fun. And, I plan on doing another one, obviously, next Sunday, if everything kind of, aligns with the stars of my job. Depending on that day. But most likely, if I can do it, it's definitely going to be a go. If not, then I'll let people know. But right now, it's a go. Anyway, that being said, I'm going to go. Thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.